Good evening, everyone. This week's video is on suicide, and it's gonna be a little irreverent, and a little dark, and a little inappropriate. And I'm gonna say some things that are controversial. Number one, I think it's everyone's right to kill themselves. I think that your life belongs to you, and that no one else can say different. And if they try to stop you, they're a felon, and you should off them. I'm a good old Western U.S. person in that attitude, and I believe that without honorable death, you can't have honorable life, and that suicide has been a part of human culture as an honorable way to go for a very long time. And if you don't believe that, then think about all the people who won the Congressional Medal of Honor for throwing themselves on grenades. They were committing suicide. They just happen to be doing it for a very good cause, and I fully support what they did, and I think they're very brave. Of course, probably in the moment, they weren't being very brave. They were just protecting their friends. So, still very honorable, still excellent, but I don't think it was fear or should I do this or should it was just fuck, and they were there. And, you know, and anybody, any one of their buddies would have done it, that guy just got there first. So yeah, I think the suicide is part of us. Was it Cato in Rome was seen as very known for his doing his thing. Benki of Japanese fame stood on a bridge so his master could commit suicide. You know, Uno salus victus non sperae salutem. The last hope of the doomed does not hope for safety. So, I do support suicide. And I myself have been locked up 3 times in my life. Once at 12, once at 13, and once at 23. For suicidal thoughts, attempts, things like that. When I was 23 was probably the worst. It led to me almost getting committed for 6 months. And I went in with a pulse rate of 110 pulse rate, and 250 over 200 blood pressure, which is pretty much enough to cause you to have a heart attack or an aneurysm or start coughing up blood and die. So, and I would have not survived going to the hospital, but the cop who put me into civil protective custody, and that's a whole nother ugly bucket of nastiness. Anyway, he pulled his taser and not his pistol. Had he pulled his pistol, I would have made him shoot me. I would have committed suicide by cop. But he pulled his taser. I was just like, oh, you miserable bastard. You know, now I gotta go off with you. I mean, he was a nice guy. He treated me well. Hospital didn't. They tried to charge me $1,500 later. For the evaluation. I was telling them I wanted to be let go, so that wasn't fun. And it wasn't fun overall. I ended up spending a total of 3 weeks in a mental institution. My doctor tried to have me committed. Thankfully, the judge was smarter than the doctor, and under the law, I was cleared. And, you know, doctor said, hey, you mark my words, he'll be back here in 6 months, or, you know, I put my license on it. Wish he had. And it's been 11 years, and so screw that guy. But suicide, I was going to look up all these reasons why people with Asperger's are more prone to suicide. Give us a gun, and boy, we'll off ourselves in greater numbers than anybody else. It'll be an ocean tide of suicide, of Aspies and Asperger's and, autistics. But that didn't fit to me. That didn't make any sense to me. It seemed too simple. That there was something special about us. Ooh, we're the special ones. Ooh, we have it so much harder than my cousin, who is severely bipolar, than my friend, who is an anthropologist, a great guy, and almost got to meet a geek girl of, I don't know if you've ever seen that site, Geek Girls. A friend of mine got to meet one of them. He's in his area and talked about seeing him. And this is a guy who's pretty and talented and smart and nice and wants to kill himself sometimes. And I got another friend who's married with 2 kids, married to the love of his life. A woman whom literally changed him for the better, even though she's kind of a bitch sometimes. And I say that with all the love in the world, knowing that this woman is a good friend of mine. We haven't always gotten along, but we do now. We're good friends now. But she's the first one to admit she can be a little bitchy. Well, she's great, and he wants to kill himself sometimes. He feels suicidal. And so why are we different? We're not. It's stress. We experience more stress than the normal person. And it's not just one instance of stress. It's continuous stress. It's continuous things of that pain. I'm in constant physical pain. And it tears at me. And I'm in constant mental stress. I live with 3 people. I don't get along. Well, I get along okay with them, but I don't connect with any of them. And so we as Aspies, as we all know, because of general physical issues, because of mental issues, because of emotional issues, because of all the comorbid crap we go through, gives us more stress. And it's all the time. From the moment I wake up to the moment I go to sleep, I'm in constant stress. I haven't slept in 6 months since I broke up with my ex. Partly because of the connection we had. Partly because of how intense our relationship was. Me and her, we both got to a very emotional connection. And part of it was a bed, man. She has one of those Tempur-Pedic beds, and I know where she lives to this day. I have threatened that I'm just going to come over there and I'm going to pick her and her boyfriend if he's there up. I'm going to kick him out of the room and say, I'm taking your bed for the night. Go sleep with the guy. They're thousands of dollars. They're great. By the way, update. I ran into her over the weekend. And gave her a big hug, and I told her she was never allowed to run away again, and she laughed, and we had a good time, and so we're back to being friends. And that's important because she's basically family to me. So yeah, we're under constant stress, and a report I saw said that we have between a 3 and 30-fold increase in the incidence of completed suicide. Is that because we're Aspies? Is that true among the bipolar population as well? Is that true among the schizophrenic population? Is that true among any, the reactive attachment disorder population, the sociopath population? I don't know the sociopath or psychopath population. But is that true among the populations that have mental disorders or physical disorders or, so forth, and just have a higher incidence of daily stress? I don't know, but I suspect it is. I suspect it is true. And what is the biggest thing causing us the most stress? Connection. You could give me a decent home to live in. Wouldn't have to be anything special. 2-bedroom apartment. A wife, a child, and a job, and I would not be suicidal anymore. I wasn't suicidal when I was with my ex. Even when we were fighting all the time. I had somebody in the world I absolutely knew that I could put all of my spoons with, and she cared. And she still cares, but she's not there every day like she used to be. She's not hugging me and kissing me every day, and I need that physical contact. I really do. I need that constant physical reminder that somebody gives a shit about me. And I don't have it. And I have no shortage of friends, and I have no shortage of family, but I have a great shortage of people I'm actually very close with. And I hate for my friends and family to hear that, but you know what I mean. There's a physical closeness, a mental intimacy that I believe I simply cannot achieve outside the bounds of a romantic relationship, that I simply cannot trust anyone to come in that close anymore. I used to. My friends and family and my parents, like many Aspies, I got burned too many times. And it's simply not possible for me to be that close to somebody anymore, to rely on them that heavily, and to give back. I have to invest myself so much. I just can't do it, but I can. So that's why I'm hoping, under the right circumstances, i.e., romantic, significant other, wife, girlfriend things. And I suspect that's very true for other Aspies as well. So yeah, us and suicide. I've attempted it. Um, I've thought about it. I'm thinking about it now. Um, I woke up this morning and I wondered what it would be like to blow the top of my head off and what that would feel like, or to put a bullet through my heart. And I'm not satisfied with my life. I work 1 day a week. I have an associate's degree. I'm living in this crap hole room. I mean, yeah, I'm better off than a lot of people. I am better off, but it's not where I'd see myself, and it's not where I hope myself. And I'm 34. Soon I'll be 34 and a half. Soon 35, and I just want to be where I need to be. And coming back home from where I was over the weekend, I had the distinct impression I was driving in the wrong direction. I was driving east when I should have been driving west. I should have been driving back to where I was, not back to where I am. So your favorite web host may be moving as soon as he possibly bloody can. Have a good evening. Sorry I went a little long tonight. As always, questions below, comments, stories, personal stories would be lovely. Please just give me the short and sweet in the comments section or video reply. Also the Facebook page, also Tumblr. Also, I'll be loading this eventually when Vimeo gives me enough room. And I have a Twitter account now, @AspieSean, one word. See y'all later.